Now let's take a look at a few of the cloud rendering options. Just displaying the main project cloud, and here in the rendering group, you can see the cloud rendering. First option is white. Pretty straightforward, just turns the point cloud white. The next option is cloud color. This option will simply display the point cloud using the color associated with it. So if I look here in the list window, you can see these different cloud objects all have yellow associated with them. You can see here yellow shows up in the display. Now if I select one of these objects and then right-click, go to the properties, I can click on the color property for that and then select from the color choices available. So in this case, let's select green. So now this point cloud has green associated with it. So if I display the other point clouds, you'll notice that they will come up and they'll display in yellow. But that selected object, because I chose green for it, will be displayed with green when using the cloud color rendering option. The next rendering option we'll take a look at is station color. Station color is very useful when doing analysis on the point cloud registration. Makes it very easy to see how one station matches up to the stations beside it. The next option is grayscale. It's just very simple. It's just like a black and white photo. Then we have true color. If you have your point cloud colored from images, which case we don't, you would see that here. And then the next is rendering the point cloud based on the intensity of the return from the surface to the laser scanner. And last is color-coded by elevation. Now there's a few settings we can change here in the cloud rendering settings. We can go in and make changes to the contrast. So if I was to zoom in on the point cloud, you would be able to see as I move the contrast slider, it'll make it more easy to see specific objects and more difficult to see others. So you can move that where you want. And in addition, you can use the brightness adjustment. So using these two in combination with each other, you can dial it in to see the specific details, such as cracks in a floor or a wall or something like that. Now, in addition to the intensity, we also have settings for the rendering by elevation. You can see the color bands. We can adjust the interval that these bands repeat. So let's just change this up to a couple of meters. And now you can see that the bands will go kind of more of the length of the wall. Now, in addition to the interval, we can also change the origin where the color band starts. So if I just click in the bottom here, my color band will start there at the bottom of the floor and then go up and repeat every 2.2 meters. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the specific tools we can use to go in and analyze our data. We'll start out by looking at the limit box. The limit box allows you to isolate and visualize a specific area of the project. It opens with a small toolbar, and you'll notice that the icon for the cursor has changed. It wants me to click on the position where I would like the center of the limit box. So I just need to click right here, and now that will become the center of the limit box. You also have the option to change the shape, the size, position, and orientation of the box. To do this, you can click on any of the grab handles. In this case, if I want to change the size, I can click on the red corner grab handle and move the mouse in towards the object or out to evenly change the size of the box. You can also change the shape of the box by using the grab handles for any specific face. In this case, I'm using the blue one to move along the Z-axis. You can also move along the X or Y axis. In addition to changing the shape of the box, you can also pan to move the box. This is done by clicking on one of the grab handles. It can be any of the corner or specific face handles. Just click on it, and you'll see it'll toggle through now to allow you to pan the box along any of the axes. Panning the limit box is a great way to inspect areas such as corridors. If you need to rotate the limit box, click again on the grab handle to bring up the controls, which will allow you to rotate the box along different axes. You can also use the buttons on the limit box toolbar to change between panning, changing shape, and rotating the limit box. Another useful tool for isolating the point cloud is the segmentation tool. But before I open that, I'm just going to do a bit of housekeeping. I'm going to right-click in the list window, choose New Group, select that group, and then give it the name of Archive. Then I'm going to select all of these objects and just drag them into that folder. Next, I need to select the point cloud to open the segmentation tool. So if I click on it, you'll see the segmentation tool is available, as well as many other tools. But if nothing is selected, you'll see a lot of tools are grayed out. So I need to select the point cloud, either in the list window or the 3D view, and then click on segmentation. To isolate the area, I'm just going to start left-clicking to create a fence. So I'm just left-clicking around here, and then I'm going to double-click to end the fence. Then I need to either keep that area in or take it out. I'm going to keep it in by clicking the green check mark. Now I'd like to see my point cloud a little bit better, so I'm just going to increase the pixel size up to 4 pixels. And then I'm going to just click around this area I'd like to remove, just left-clicking. And then I'm going to double-click or right-click and choose End Fence to close the fence. Now instead of keeping this in, I want to take it out, so I'm going to click on the red X or use the keyboard shortcut of O to remove those points. I'm just going to rotate to the side just to make sure I got everything. There's a few more points I want to remove. So again, I'm just left-clicking around those points, double-clicking to end the fence, and then I'm going to click on the red X to remove those points. Now there's other options. I could use a rectangular segmentation, but in this case, the polygonal worked the best. And then just click the Create button to save that object. That specific area has now been created as Object 64, which you can find in the List window. Just need to click on the door to close the tool. And let's just change our point cloud size back to 1 pixel. If I wanted to give that object a name, I just click on it, and then type in a name such as Door Area. It should be noted that objects created while using the Trimble RealWorks viewer are not saved when the project's closed. Objects are only saved when using a full licensed version of Trimble RealWorks. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this quick start video on the Trimble RealWorks viewer.